Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome. My name is Debbie, and this is my crafty den. So today I am going to work on some Christmas-themed ATC cards. The first thing I want to say about this is I have had a little bit of an inspirational block. I just don't feel like I've been very creative lately. So the last month or so, and I mean, that's been happening for quite some time, and I'm sure it happens to all of us. We get a bit burnt out. We don't know what we want to do next. And when that happens, I head to YouTube. Maybe that's why you're here watching this video. So I hope you get something from this, maybe just a little inspiration. But that's what I do. I head to YouTube, also Pinterest, even the Facebook shorts, the little clips and pictures, all the groups that I belong to. So I head to social media and I start just watching other people create. I don't go looking for a specific thing to do or somebody to copy. I just go there looking for overall inspiration. So I'll just watch for a few days. And I've been feeling a little down in the dumps lately, probably because my hubby is late getting home this year. I've known for a while that he's not going to get here until just a week before Christmas. He works in Ontario and his jobs have just run extra long this year, so he's not going to have as much downtime in the winter. Fingers crossed, next year is his last year, and then after that, he doesn't have to go back. At least that's what I'm hoping for. But with that being said, I've just been binge watching and scrolling and just looking at other people's bits of art. And I think I've taken enough time off of doing pretty much anything but my planning. I love working in my planners, but that is a little bit of a creational or creational, is that even a word? A little bit of a creative outlet for me, and I don't feel like I have to be inspired as much to do that. So I've decided I'm going to make some Christmas ATC cards. So if you're new to ATC cards, it stands for Artist Trading Card. These are the same size as, look at the back of these guys. This is packaging. So pizza boxes, this is had frozen chicken in it. The freezer boxes are like the best ones to use because they've got the heaviest chipboard. I think these are even a little heavier than your average cereal box. But all these boxes make great chipboard to use for the basis for your ATC cards. Now, artist trading cards are like all other trading cards, hockey cards, any sports cards, all those things that you collect and trade and people have loved for generations. These are 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and they can have square corners or the corners can be a little bit rounded. It's up to you, but they're made this size because they fit in the trading card collectors pages. So let me just show you. I have made and collected ATC cards for years, and these are some of the ones that I've made. I've done watercolor ones. I've done just doodling ones. All kinds of things. So I've done various different themes. So in this binder, I put the ones that I have that haven't, I mean, these are back, this one's going back to 2018, this page. So I've done these for years. Now, I don't believe these ones aren't mine. I can recognize my own art really, really easy, but these ones I've traded for. So I've sent something from my collection to somebody else and they have swapped me back a piece of their art. So yeah, I can tell that these are mine. I recognize my own handwriting, and this one isn't. This one is, of course. So I can tell which ones are mine and which ones I've actually swapped out for somebody else's. And these are actually artist trading coins. Now these are 2.5 because they're the width of your trading card, but they're a 2.5-inch circle, and they're artist trading coins. These are some that I did. This was a collection that I made in honor of my father's birthday a few years ago, and he has been an avid hunter all his life and been outdoors. So these are some outdoor themed fall ones that I made. But yeah. And then typically on the back, this book goes back to 2018. So typically on the back, you stamp it, you give your card a name. So that's the title that I give it, the date that I made it, the number in the series, if there's a series of them, and then you put your name where the artist's signature goes. So that's what you do. You just collect and trade. Now I have a big 4-inch binder completely full. I can't stick another thing in it. And it is all cards made by other people. I may do a flip through of that sometime. But I just love to sit and look through them. So I have a bunch of cards pre-cut. Now, other things that you can make your cards out of, anything that you can cut to a 2.5 and 3.5-inch size. Here is some cardstock. This is just construction paper thickness, basically, not heavy. And then this is some nice heavy watercolor paper, especially, I mean, artists who can do watercolor cards and everything on there is their original art. That just floors me. I love it when people have that much talent that they can actually take a 2.5 by 3.5-inch piece of watercolor paper and make a scene on it, make an actual picture. I think that's phenomenal. So watercolor paper, or you can just do them on paper, because if you're layering, it'll just get heavy. But yeah, so anyway, this is what I am going to do, is some Christmas themed ATC cards. So I have an idea for this. I'm just going to take some of my cards. Maybe I like doing them in series of 6. So I'm going to take my cards and I'm going to put them just down on my desktop like this. And then I have a bunch of Christmas papers that I've pulled out for other projects. Some of it I've used part of, some of it I have a couple of sheets here that I haven't used yet. And I'm going to make some background on here. I think maybe I'll go with some blue themes. I have lots of blue and neutral papers out on my desk. Let's start with this. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take this paper and I'm just going to tear some strips just like this. So there's a strip. Not very big. I'm going to try to keep these around an inch, maybe a little more, a little less, but a couple of strips of that. This paper I absolutely love. Am I going to use I do want to use some of this. This paper's already got some, it's got some of that double-sided tacky on the back of it. So I think I will use some of this, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to rip this. It's going to be a little harder to rip because it does have that sticky paper on the back. So let's just take this because I just want this color. It goes so well with my blue backgrounds. So let's see. Do I need a little more of this? I've got 6 cards to do, so let's see. I got some strips of that. I have this neutral paper. There. Let's just grab some of this, and I'm going for all the colors in this color range. This is a floral paper, but it's got these beautiful blues on this white background, so it has a kind of a wintry feel to it. There. I don't know how much of this I'm going to need. And then I have some of this, which is just a blue with white dots. This actually looks like a sky with snow falling. So that's gorgeous for a winter theme. So I have some pieces torn. Let's see what I can do with these. So I want to layer these up here. So maybe this one like this, and then take a little bit of this and put it over top. However, it's going to fit on here. Like this. And I'm going to take some of this. And, I need some of this. I definitely need some of this. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start gluing this at the top of the cards, and I'm going to glue my way down. So I think I'll work on 3 of them at a time just to make it manageable for me. And I'm going to start with this top piece. And I'm just going to use this glue stick because it's a permanent glue stick. So I trust this more than I would if I was say using a dollar store glue stick. So if you're not sure about your glue stick, definitely use a wet glue for this. But I find that this wrinkles the paper a little less. So I'm just going to do this. And then right across the top here, I may as well go here. Then I've got less to trim off when I'm done. I'm just going to put my cards down like this. Let's get these ones started. I'm going to leave a space. So let's do this. I'm going to leave a space to make it easier to cut them out. So I've got a piece down, and then I'm going to layer. And yeah, so I can't even remember who I saw doing this, and it was for a different style. I'm not even sure if it was, Yeah, I'm not even sure if it was ATC cards or not that I saw this done on. It might have been a tag or a master board or something, but it's a great idea and it's easy to use somebody else's ideas. I'm not copying their project. Oh, well, obviously, because I can't even remember where this came from. That piece can kind of go in here pretty well, I think. But yeah, so if you're finding that you have a bit of a block, definitely just go watch some videos. Don't take notes on anybody's project in specifically. Just go watch. And if you can find 50 ideas that other people have and kind of put them together into your own project, I myself, you might consider that stealing off of somebody else, but I just call it inspiration. So if you want to do ATC cards like I'm doing ATC cards, oh my gosh, the glue. I might need a damp cloth. I'm going to take a wet wipe and try to get that glue off of there. And yeah, so if you take inspiration from this and you want to do some ATC cards like this, I mean, I'm definitely not going to feel like you're stealing something from me. That would be absolutely ludicrous. I just want to inspire people here. There, that piece is going to go like that. And notice that they're getting overlapped a bunch. I don't care. I am keeping my straight edge down this side. Now, do I want to put a little something right underneath there? Maybe I do. I'm going to go and grab another little tiny piece of this and put it there so that I can bring this down a little bit. And yeah, so just play with it. Do whatever makes you feel good. I'm going to put some focal images on this when I'm done. And I was just thinking that this background would be a really great idea for ATC cards. So, and I've seen other people do this in mixed media art projects, all kinds of different projects. It doesn't have to be ATC cards. Yeah, that fits there just nicely. So that's where I'm going to put there. So yeah, I'm glad you've joined me today. I hope you're crafting with me. I hope you've got this on and you're actually crafting is what I mean. Yeah, or if you're just watching for inspiration, hello, I'm really glad you're here. And yeah, so I think that's good advice. I think that's good advice for anybody, even the most prolific crafter can get inspiration from someone else. Is prolific the word? Yeah, if you're churning out pieces every single day, I'm going to take another piece of this because I want a little bit wider piece for down the bottom. So let's do this. I want a little bit of a piece for there now. So do I want another little piece of this maybe? Yes, I think I do. I absolutely love this paper. It actually looks like with this swirled silver and white, It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, that silver foiling, and it goes so nicely with the blue. So my next 3 I may do with different background papers, but I'm going to work on these 3 first. I think small batches just make things a little more manageable. So let's see, what can we do here? It still doesn't go all the way down. I think I need a little bit for this side. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to take my scissors because I know I'm putting this to that edge, and this is going to go right over here like this. So yeah, and no, I didn't ink the edges of any of these papers, but you definitely could. You could ink the edges of all of these if you wanted to. I find that that's a little grungier look, and grungy is not my Christmas go-to. And these being Christmas themed, of course. So there, that's going to go there like that. So I can cut this off right about there. Save the bits. So yeah, how is everybody today? I hope everybody is well. The weather's changed a little bit here. It got a little bit colder quite fast over the last few days. We've gone from rain to freezing rain and now to snow. Nothing terrible, like not a major snowstorm or anything like that, but yeah, we've gone through the weather changes. Let me see if I can slide that over a little bit. You have just a minute with this glue. I'm just pressing these all down really good. Now there's wet glue on the back of this white that's showing. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. And I'm going to do the other 3 cards. So I think for the other 3 cards, I'm going to do it a little bit different, just a little. And I'm going to grab, I was making some Christmas cards and some envelopes. I didn't show all of them. I did show the Christmas cards that I made using that Cut and Create book that I bought from Calico Collage. Oh my gosh, that book was just so stunning. So I have these now, these bits that are left over from that. So why not use them? This will just be a little different. And I actually may, am I going to ink any of these? I don't know if I'm going to ink any of these or not. I think what I am going to do is just tear a little bit off the top and the bottom of this, because I love these words that are in the middle. And I'm going to use this piece there. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to tear just a little bit off the bottom of this. There. Throw that in the trash bin. These little pieces that just aren't big enough to keep. So I've got that piece. I've got this piece that has these trees on it. I think I'm going to put them on here like this. And then I've got this that has these snowflakes on it. So let's start with this. Is this big enough? Oh, yes. I can leave a little wee bit of space. So I'm going to put glue on here. I didn't even rip this piece, and you'll see why in a minute. So I'm going to take this piece because I want these snowflakes in here. I am going to put this piece on there, and then I'm just going to put these other ones on as well. There. Get them pushed down really well. I'm just using a plastic. This ruler broke in half. I'm just using a plastic ruler to burnish these down and make sure that they're in the glue really well. Then I'm going to take this piece that has these Christmas trees on it and put it at the bottom here. This one maybe. And I'm just going to put it right on here as well. I don't care if it overlaps. I could have torn some of this off, but it doesn't matter. Make sure that I have this down far enough that it's all the way to that glued edge. And I'm going to put that down like that. So I've got these two. And then I'm just going to take this piece that I tore and I'm going to put it across, right across the middle like this. Now, because I want this to say Magical Christmas in the middle of that one, and that to say Magical Christmas in the middle of that one. And then this one will just be a mixed batch of words. So let's do it. Yeah, let's put it to that edge. So, yeah. So, I asked how everybody was doing. I just want to take a minute and say that Christmas sometimes is not the merriest and brightest time of the year for some of us. It's hard being alone. I'm finding it really hard to get in the spirit of Christmas this year. And I have lots of family that I can talk to, but I don't have any family really close this year. So I'm not seeing people on a daily basis. But I am, let's get that over a little bit. I am blessed that I have somebody to talk to at least every day. And I know my husband's going to be home, you know, in 2 weeks from today when I'm actually doing this. But it'll be shorter than that by the time you see this video. But yeah, so there is that one. And it'll look better once I cut these out. So, yeah. I'm just going to burnish these down again really well. And I am going to grab the other one and I'm going to start trimming it out because this glue that's showing will be dry. So, I'm just going to take my scissors. And I'm trimming just along the edge of the card, the 2.5 by 3 inch. And in this case, I think it was a pizza box. I mean, heck, guys, I'm by myself. I don't want to cook a big meal every night. Sometimes cooking up a pizza, and it takes me 2 days to eat one. Yeah, so, but that's okay. So there's one. Look how pretty that is. I'm going to do this one. It's pretty thick because this has got a few layers of paper on it. That edge is easier to cut. There. So that one, these are pretty. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to speed any of this up this time because I'm going to just put this up as a craft with me video. I'm hoping you guys don't mind me just sitting and chatting and working away on this project. I'm just asking you to join me so that you're not alone. You don't have to, that glue dries really fast. I just want to remind people that you're not truly alone. There are people that are in the same boat. They're waiting for family members to come home. Maybe they live by themselves and they're not expecting a bunch of company this year. But so this goes out to all of you people that are on your own during the holiday season. I'm definitely thinking about you. And I'm going to ask everybody, if you have a neighbor or a friend that you know lives alone over the holiday season, stop in and visit. Give them a phone call. Check up on them once in a while. Everybody appreciates it. Everybody appreciates it. And from somebody that's been living alone a lot over the last couple of years, I got to tell you, I can understand how much they appreciate it. I don't live really alone. I've got my cat. I've got my dog. They're both tremendous company. They're just my life right now. And I have so much family, just nobody close, and I can talk to people. I mean, there's never a lack of somebody that I can talk to. I just have to pick up the phone and call, and they call and check on me too, which is wonderful. But yeah, so if you are blessed with a big family with lots of people surrounding you, make sure you reach out to those that haven't got that. So I have all my backgrounds. Look at how stinking pretty these are. Absolutely gorgeous. And not your traditional red and green. This has got red and green on it, but not heavy red and green. This is so pretty so far. So what I've done is I've created these wonderful backgrounds. Now, I have all kinds of things that I can do with these cards. The first thing that I'm going to do, so I have these inks. They're just a little set of inks that I picked up at the craft store on sale. And I have some blenders. I have these little brush blenders that I really love. I'm going to put the lid on that for just a minute. And I am going to ink the outside edges of these, but I'm not going to distress them in a dark color. I'm going to go with something a little bit festive. So I have this green, I think, which goes with this a little bit better. And I'm going to grab this blender that I've been using for greens and blues. I'm going to get a little of that on there, and then I need a piece of paper. I'm just going to put a piece of paper down underneath this, and then I'm going to go around the edges of this like this. There, just a little bit. I love that. Now it has toned it down a little bit and kind of give it a finished look. Look at the difference between those, and I love that. So a little bit on here. I'm not going to add a lot more. There. And it also gives this edge a little bit of a finished feel as well. Now, the other color that I could have chose was that red, but I think I like the green. I kind of have an idea of what kind of images I want to put on here. And I think the green will suit them better. There. So that, and then I'm going to take the next darkest one. This is more of a dark teal color. Let's see. And I'm just going to go just a little on the edges. I don't want to go over the center of this one at all. Just a little on those edges. Look at how pretty that is. There, I'm just going to trim that a little wee bit with my scissors. There. I'm going to love these when they're done, I think. I hope. As a crafter, I think we all do the same thing. We have this kind of image in our head of how we want a project to look when it's done. Maybe not the whole process, but how we want it to look when it's done. And when it's done, it's completely different, but we love it anyway. So, yeah, so I have these. So let's figure out what we're going to do to finish these. I have so many options. I have this bin, which is absolutely full of, it's got some cut and collage ATC edition book that was put out by Keely O'Brien and Nicole Temu. So that's where all of these images are from. And I have some words that go with that as well. I'm not going to use these. They just got tossed in there. I also have all kinds of these Christmas images here. These are just stickers from Temu. So let's take these out and see if there's anything in here that I want to use and if it'll go with Too Big, Naughty, Nice, and Undecided. That is adorable. And it kind of looks okay on there. Maybe here, like this, on this one. I kind of like that. I don't want to use these big square images. I love this. I love this baby. It's cold outside. I may use that as a sentiment on one of those. And I have this really gorgeous pine cone set right there. Yeah. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Maybe. I'm not sure which direction I want to go with these. I'm kind of wondering. That's really gorgeous, actually. That's a vintage Santa, which could go on there with a sentiment, and it would be stunning. So I'm going to think about that. That's a cute little image. I like that little girl. I like this little boy as well. These are adorable. These ones right here. Maybe-ish. Or this one is kind of adorable too. I may not use any of these when I'm done. So this is the whole process. This is part of what would normally get cut out. Look at that stunning little girl right there. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to put this back in the pile. And wouldn't it look absolutely gorgeous? She looks like a snow princess. She would look absolutely gorgeous on this blue card as well. So maybe, just maybe. I don't want these to all have the same look when they're done. That's all I know. So there is a couple of nutcrackers right there in the blue and the kind of red tone. The most wonderful time of the year. That's a really nice little sentiment as well. Look at this girl right here with her little basket, her heart, box of chocolates, her Christmas tree. She looks really nice there. There's another vintage Santa that's absolutely gorgeous. So let's see. I want to put at least a couple of these. So I think I'm going to use this one and take those off of there. And this set here, I think, are really, really pretty. And what I'm going to do is take my scissors and I am going to fussy cut around her and take about half of the white background off. So, yeah, let's see if I can get that done. I want a little bit of a white edge, but I don't think it needs to be like an eighth of an inch thick. And so sometimes this is what I'll do. I'll just trim a little bit of the extra off. And if you're comfortable enough with your fussy cutting, you could trim this right out. I mean, she has a solid enough edge in this print to actually take it right down if I wanted to. But I think because she's got these muted colors, that this little bit of a white background will work a little better. Yeah, I'm not the best at fussy cutting. And I know it's because my hands shake a little bit and I have a hard time. Sometimes I'll be doing something and my hands just vibrate, guys. And that's the fibro. I mean, I've already asked about it. But yeah, it's the fibro, and sometimes I haven't got much strength in my hands. It's not anything that I can control. I try to stay as active as I possibly can so that my hands aren't stiffening up. I'm going to take that little bit of a straggle off of there. There, I think this will look better without the big, wide, white edge on it. There, that's a little better. Now this one with the beige, I'm going to grab another one of those brushes that already has a little bit of ink on it. Is there enough on here to do anything with that? No. So let's grab my distress ink and put a tiny little bit on here. This is just my vintage photo, because I want this shape, but I don't want this white. on here. And I do want this one inked up quite a bit, so maybe a little more. This is supposed to be a vintage sticker, so stark white doesn't give a vintage look. It really doesn't. So if that goes on there, and she goes down beside here, and it's covering up these words, but these words aren't all there anyway. So it just says naughty, nice, or undecided. Maybe I'll put that up a little bit more and put her like this. What do you think? I think so. I think so. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to take this sticker. That's the nice thing about these being stickers too. And I'm going to put that right down there like that. And then I'm going to put this one right down here like this. Oh, isn't that pretty? Then I'm going to take my black Sharpie pen, because it's a fine point. I'm going to stitch around my card, and you don't have to do this, but I love having stitching around my ATC cards and my small pieces of art. So just tiny little stitches with my pen, and I don't even care if they're straight, because it looks like they're hand sewn then if they're a little bit crooked. What do you think? Do you use stitching? A lot of people don't like it, but I've been doing this since I first started paper crafting way back in the 70s, I think. Yeah, I've been doing it for a while, and I've been doing it for a while. So I have that. I think this is naughty, nice, or undecided. She's definitely nice. So I'm going to tick the nice box. And then I'm going to grab out of my drawer, I'm going to grab some, I've got stickles. I don't need inks. I don't need gold because I'm doing silver. Oh, how about some silver liquid pearls? Let's do. I haven't used these for a while, so I'm going to squeeze. Oh, come on. I need a pin. There, I hadn't used this for such a long time that I actually had to cut a little bit off that tip because it was stuck in there so hard that a needle wouldn't even get it out of there. So I'm going to take these liquid pearls. If you've ever used liquid pearls, you know that you can just put a little dot down, whatever size that you want, and it will self-level itself out and look like a little flat back pearl when it's done. So I'm going to put one there, and one there as well. So when it's done, it's going to look like this has got little pearls on it. The important thing with this is now that's going to take a little while to dry. Take this and set it somewhere out of the way where you're not going to touch it and smear those liquid pearls again. So yeah, I haven't used those in a long time. I've got so much stuff that I used to use constantly. As soon as it was empty, I got another one. I had to have them. Yeah. I wish I could put that on there with that, but that's not going to work. Baby, It's Cold Outside is too big as well. What about, I do love this little fella with the short pants and the Christmas tree. Will he fit and still be able to see what that says? That's the thing about working with ATC cards. I'm just not sure yet. I'm going to leave these here. I do know that I want to use this on here though. It is so stunning, this image. So I might move her over to the side here and put the most wonderful time of the year. No. I'm determined I'm going to use that, and it's just going to be too big for this, but I do love this, and she's gorgeous. So she's going to stay. What do I have in here in the way of little small images that I can put on here and share with her? What about something like this? No. There's a little vintage snowman. What about something like that? I actually like that because he's got a blue hat and it's kind of in that same color with that teeny tiny little bit of red on there. I like. So, and this is actually a little snowman from that glue book that I was telling you about. So I don't think I'm going to cut the white off of the back of her because it kind of helps her pop the blue off of the blue background a little bit. And I'm just going to fix a few of my little corners and edges on my little snowman so he's not quite as blunt. There, like that. There, I think that's how it's going to go. So she's a sticker. I'm going to put a little bit of glue stick on the back of her anyway, because I just don't want her to fall off. I might, I'll see about the other one, but it's awfully dry in my house. And I have found with some of my images that they, as the stickers dry out, they come back up off the paper. This works much better. So yeah, or a little wet glue. Use whatever glue you have on hand. Yeah. So it looks like she's actually putting the finishing touches on her snowman, and I like that. And once again, I'm going to go around the outside edge of this. I might wait till the end and do them all at once. So I have a start on that. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do on this one. I'm going to go ahead and put the stitching around the edge. I'm really going to do this. So yeah, I might just speed this up because you guys don't want to watch me make little short lines for 10 minutes in this video. Now, of course, if you have a sewing machine and it'll go through all these papers, I don't think my sewing machine would go through. This is in some places, this is like 3 layers. And I don't know if my needle will go through that without breaking. But I'm going to take my stickles, and stickles are, if you haven't used stickles before, these are amazing. They are just liquid sparkles, glitter, liquid glitter. That's what they are. Anyway, I'm going to put some snowflakes falling all over the top of this, and they will just stay where you put them. Listen to that little squishy noise. So some of them are bigger, some of them are really tiny. Now, I don't know if this shows on the camera, but this is the best glitter ever, ever, ever invented. So I'm going to give you a close-up. Look. All those little snowflakes. Aren't they pretty? Love it. So I'm going to set this up here to dry as well. So I like to give those a good 20 minutes before I try to touch them. I just don't want to ruin the work that I've already done. So there's all kinds of dogs in here. She doesn't have my dog in here. She doesn't. Oh, isn't that adorable? Huh? But yeah, there's all kinds of little dogs in here. There's Nicole's little pug. Oh, I like this. Isn't that pretty? So that would make a really cool card. And what kind of a sentiment could we put on it? And this is the perfect spot for this. So can I manage to put that up there and this down here, or this over here? Even if I have to take a little bit off the edge, and then I can put this down there. That's it. The most wonderful time of the year. Oh, look at that. That is perfect. Just perfect. So this is a sticker from Temu. I'm going to put this over here as far as I can put it. And then I'm going to take this image from that glue book, ephemera book, not a glue book. It's a ephemera book for making ATC cards. So why didn't I think there'd be a perfect picture in there for an ATC card? It shouldn't have surprised me that much. But yeah, this is perfect. Just perfect. And so I don't want to lose any of these words. So I'm going to put that over there just as far as I can possibly put it. It's fitting that I'm going to use my Tim Hortons card to put this down and make sure it's down really good there. Just, yeah, that's perfection. And I love using bits and pieces from all different, so I'm sure there's probably paper from 3 different books down here. And then this beautiful image here from that cut and glue ATC book that I have. I will link that down below. And if I can find these stickers from Temu, I'll link them as well. They don't always have the same things every time I go back to look. So yeah, that is perfect. So I'm going to do my lines. And I left a little break because I don't want to go over my words there. I can do that because this is my ATC card and I can make it however I want to make it. I like that there's so many layers on here. This is a really crooked little line at the top here. So it kind of looks like I went a little wonky with my stitching. That's okay. I like that look. I don't even need any sparkles or stickles or anything like that on here, do I? I do have, yeah, I'm playing with my stickles today, guys. This is just a clear. It's just a clear glitter glue. So it's going to be whatever color of whatever I have underneath it. And I'm going to show you how I use stickles a lot. I don't make it in dots usually. I'll just take this stickles and I'm going to spread just a few of those little bits of glitter glue around on that candy, just a little bit, so that when the light shines on this card, these candies are going to have their own special look to them. So just in the red. That's the only place I'm putting this. And not a lot. Just a tiny, tiny little bit. There. And I'll show you that one. So pretty, so pretty. So once again, put it somewhere safe to dry. And throw my lids back on because stuff is drying out. And I'm going to put these last 3 together. I have a collage book called Cozy Winter. Who's this one from? Kate Curry. So this is a Kate Curry, and some of the images are quite large in here, which I love. I think they're stunning. But I have a long-haired Chihuahua, and she has a short-haired Chihuahua. Mine's a little blonde Chihuahua like this. He just looks wild and crazy with all his long hair. So I'm actually thinking of using that as my image for one card. I really love it on there. I love him. I think he's adorable, and he has to be on there. So I'm going to cut this out. There, so I've got him cut out, and I'm going to glue him down. I'm going to glue this guy down, making sure to get lots of glue on his tail because that's such a narrow little part, and make sure his ears are glued down well. And I'm going to put him on this one right here. There, let's get that pressed down really well. Oh, isn't he cute? Just so adorable. Now, I need a sentiment for him. And because he has a red scarf, I have some sentiments, Christmas sentiments, that came out of Nicole's book as well. And oh my gosh, Santa's helpers would be really cute on here. I think I'm just going to cut this out so it says Santa's helper. So I'm going to take this right here, and Nicole is so smart when she says she cuts these out and she doesn't worry about going straight anymore. She deliberately puts a little bit of a swirl on them, which is really a good idea because you've got so much less stress that way. So it just says Santa's helper right there, maybe. Right there. Yeah, I think I'm just going to put it right there. This is so sweet. Now, he needs a little hat. I wonder if there's a Christmas hat in any of these pictures. Some of these other little dogs had Christmas hats on them. Like this one here has a Christmas hat. Will it fit this little fella here if I cut it out? Let's see. I like this one right here. I think I'm going to cut this hat off of this dog and steal it for the Chi. Yeah. A little wee bit off there. And I think that'll work. I think that's going to work. Yeah. So if they don't have what you want, you make it. Yeah. Oh, gosh. There. There. Now I'm going to have to trim a little tiny bit off the top of this. And a little tiny bit off of this side here, because it's just hanging out a little bit past that 2.5 inches, but not much. And I actually think that this guy now needs a little bit more edging, and that's okay. I'm going to do that. So I am going to take this. And I'm just going to do, this is the darker. I didn't add any more to it. There. I love that. I think that is so cute. So all different styles. No stickles and no liquid pearls on this one. I think it's good just the way it is. And do I need another doggy one? Oh, look at this. I did the hot cocoa. So I think I'm going to do another dog. Like this, maybe. And I'm going to do another food one. What can I find in the way of food that's absolutely awesome? It says cook there. Magical Christmas with that one. I kind of like that just because it shows the whole magical Christmas. And then I could put, how about some cookies to go with the, where'd they go? I just saw them in here. Some little tarts to go with that. Yeah, that works. Maybe that there and those up a little bit. So I'm going to work with those and see what I can do for that image. I like those cookies better than those cookies. And I'm wondering, can I put these cookies on here like this and then put this cuppa on here like that, so I get both of them, and then I'll see what I can do to finish it out. So let's put these back in that bin and start with this. So warm in my craft room. It's the warmest room in the house. Until it gets really cold, and then for some reason this room cools down quite a bit more than the rest of the house does. But right now the heater's working overtime because it's snowing out. So that. And this right here. I want it to cover up that where it says cook. There. So I've got those two images. I like that. I never did use Baby It's Cold Outside. It needs to go back in with those stickers. And I'm just going to make sure these are down really good. So I haven't stitched this one yet. Let's get that on there. So let's do a little bit of I'm just using what's in the bristles on here. I love that one. I think that one's really pretty. It has that vintage feel to it now. and this one. This one could have a little more vintage feel if I added a little more of this to it. If I'm not going to put any stickles or anything on them, they should have that there. So those two are done. And then I just want another puppy one. So I think I'm going to put this one down here like this. No, that's not what I want. Also, there's that kitten. I haven't done a cat. This right here is going on here. Oh my goodness. That's what my kitty looked like when she was a kitten. So absolutely looked like this. This one's going on here. She's a little tiger striped tabby. Oh, she's not little anymore, but she was a little tiger striped tabby. Maybe all this one needs. I mean, in some of these, the background kind of speaks for itself. There, just like that. And then I can cut off the overhang. Oh my, I love that one. Let's just go over this a little heavier in the corners. Make sure it goes over the whole thing. Just adding a little bit. And I never added anything more to this than what was on there. You don't need much of these. Vintage Photo is one that I would recommend getting because you can use it lightly or you can make it darker. So you get a lot of use out of this one. So if you're only going to have one, this would be it. So much you can use this for. So I'm going to put my stitching around these three. So these are the 6 ATCs that I made. I've got 2 of these vintage themed ones. I have 2 of the animal, a cat and a dog. And I have 2 of these kind of food related ones. Now, while I've been working on these, I can touch these stickles now. They're not smeared. These are the first ones that I put down. These are the liquid pearls, and they have dimension. I think you can see that. Like they're raised. They look like you've glued little pearls down on your card. So I like that on this vintage. It's kind of a pewtery silver color, that not a shiny. So I like that. I love this little naughty nice undecided list with this little girl. I love all these. I don't know if you can see that or not, but look at the sparkle on this one with all these little stickles, snowflakes, and then this band that goes through here of that silver and white polka dot. So pretty. So I really hope you enjoyed crafting with me today. If you did, give it a thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know where you're watching from and what you were working on today while you were watching this. So I hope everybody had a wonderful and productive session. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, do that now before you leave so you can come back and craft with me again. And I'll see everyone in the next one. Until then, bye-bye for now, everyone.